Hey guys, how's it going? This is a special request from the Instagram live version that Justin Bieber did from May 17th, 2020. This is Cold Water, which I've done before, but like every other song that Justin does when he's doing solo versions, this one's a little bit different. So you have 4 chords for this song. You're going to be capoed on 1 in standard tuning. So let's go over your chord list. You're going to start out with a B minor form. Then you're going to go to an A chord, but it's not your traditional open A. Instead, Justin puts his first finger across strings 4, 3, and 2, and his pinky is going to cover the 5th fret. You have your index finger covering string 4 and string 3. Make sure those are sounding. Place your finger up on the 5th fret up from the capo. These 2 notes and these 2 notes are the same, except they're split by an octave. So you get a really big sound. So far we have B minor. This is a real typical Bieber strum. Down, up, and then a tap. When he goes to A, basically similar to that strumming pattern. So take your time on that. Down, up, down. I go down, down again, but I missed that second down. Down, miss, up, down. If you play it similar to that, it'll work. Down, up, down. Now we're going to go to a D chord, but this D is going to have an F sharp in the bass. So I've got my index finger on string 6, fret 2. I have my second finger, my middle finger, on string 3, fret 2, and my ring finger is on string 2, fret 3. So you have an F sharp in the bass. Now, does he do that chord every time? Probably not. And when I listen, at times I just hear a regular D because I hear this in the bass, and at times I hear this in the bass. The overall sound, I hear this chord, this D with F sharp in the bass, more than the regular D. This is an alternative, and many times the way Justin would play it, and that is taking your finger over the top of the guitar onto the 2nd fret 6th string. The next chord you're going to is G, so this makes perfect sense to go B minor, and then this D chord with the thumb across the 2nd fret on the 6th string. These thumb chords, as I like to call them, show up in a lot of music, so if you've never done this, it's something you might want to try out. The best way to do it is just to take your thumb across the top of your guitar and try to get these notes to sound. After you get a clear sound on those notes, then actually try to build a D chord by having that thumb on the 2nd fret, 6th string. Then put your index finger on string 3, fret 2, and then your 3rd finger on string 2, fret 3. Then you've got a really big sounding chord. There's no problem with this G chord at all. This is super G. You've got your 2nd finger on the 6th string, 3rd fret, your 1st finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret, your 3rd finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, and your pinky on the 1st string, 3rd fret. Gives you a really big sounding G. So what we have is B minor, And then we go to the A chord, this power A. D with F sharp, G. And he just cruises along with those chords. There is one part where he seems to go to an A. So there, I broke up the two halves of the progression. Think of it as two separate parts. Think of your B minor to A. Then you practice that a few times. Because remember, you have to work on that strumming. And then go to your next two chords, a D with the F sharp. And G. Now, if you want to do it with your first finger, second, and third finger, you can. But it depends. I mean, sometimes I'll use this fingering for that D chord, and sometimes I'll bring the thumb around. There's one more way you could do it. Your middle finger on the 6th string 2nd fret, then your 3rd and pinky on the other 2 frets. But I think overall it would make more sense and it's a bit smoother if you just go ahead and use your thumb. If you're not used to the B minor bar chord, take your time and learn it, because this chord is going to come up a lot. You don't always want to be depending on the capo to make everything easy for you. There are times when it's just impossible for the capo to make all your chords easy. There's always going to be one that is going to give you a little bit of trouble. So as soon as you can, learn these bar chords. Okay, I hope that helps.